And here we go. Quick look at the tale of the tapes. We're here for Azim versus Lemos. Azim, 23 years old, 5'10", with a 71 reach, going on against Lemos, who is 29 years of age, 5'6", with a 72-inch reach. That is a huge reach for a man of that stature. So an interesting fight we've got here. I think you could definitely argue that this represents a step up for Adam Azim. You know, he fought O'Hara Davis, which I have as his best win to date. I think this is a step up because both Lemos and Davis have been in with, oh, good shot there from Adam Azim, have been in with world caliber opponents and just fell short. Both fought for world titles, I believe. Lemos against Hitchens, I think, was for a world title. And it was very close. It was very close. And then in the fight after, he fought Keyshawn Davis, and he got knocked out in the second round. But we've since heard Ben Shalom. Not only does he say he believes that Lemos beat Richardson Hitchens, he also says that he was massively drained of the weight. I think I watched the Richardson Hitchens fight. The Keyshawn Davis, I missed that one, so I can't comment on that. But I definitely think against a guy with this sort of record, with the opponents he's been in with, would definitely signify a step up for Adam Azim. And he's got a good round there. Let's see the scorecards come in. It's got to be an Azim round. Yeah, 2 10-7s. I've said it before. The 10-7, the judges are a little heavy with the 10-7s on this. They give them a lot. They'll give that as a 10-7. Another good shot for Azim there. But you'll also see a guy can knock a guy down 2-3 times in a round and they'll give 10-7s, but more likely across the board then. So we're coming into this round. We've got a 6-point difference. Like I say, that's not huge in this fight. But this is a real... Because if you go back to before Dalton Smith picked up the world title just the other week, Adam Azim seemed a step in front of him. It seemed like he'd be coming down to fight. Oh my god, great shot. Lemos goes down, he's quickly back up. It's a great start from Adam Azim. It's a great start. But it seemed like Adam Azim was the A side of that fight. Now, Dalton Smith went over to America, away soil, and picked up the world title. So now it's clear to see that Dalton Smith is well in front of Azim. Like, he leapfrogged him so far that it's going to take a long time for Azim to get in front of him. Like, he has to at least get a world title, and I struggle to see him doing it in the fashion that Dalton Smith did. Another round done there, another Azim round. See, and that's what I'm talking about with the scores. Both of them were given 2 10-7s and 1 10-10. And in that round he knocked him down, and I feel was more dominant. But that's just this game. It's good fun, you know. But so I think Azim needs to make a statement like he's doing in this fight so far to really get back in the running for that fight, because now it will be Dalton Smith coming down a level or two to fight Azim. So Azim has to get this win, and I think after this one he's really got to be looking at taking on you know, let's get up the rankings and have a look, because he needs a former world champion is what I would like to see him fight. A prestigious former big name is what I would like to see. You know, maybe pick up Dalton Smith's scraps against Matias. Sandor Martin's in there. That would be a good fight. They would be my choices. Maybe the Sandor Martin is more realistic. Barbosa's an option. That'd be a good fight. Or maybe just go straight for that WBA title. Another round done there. Let's see the scores come in. Another 2 10-7s for Adam Azim. He's building a nice little lead here. Yeah, or Gary Russell. That would be a real good fight. I wouldn't put him in with T.O. or Hitchinjet or Dalton Smith. I think all of them fights he needs a bit more time. I feel more comfortable with him in there with Russell. But they're all options. But yeah, I still think he needs a step even maybe before that. A Sandor Martin would be great, or a Matthias. If Matthias is going to get back in there, the schedules will line up perfectly. Whether it's possible to do that fight, and I touched on this before, I think it was on when I was doing the Dalton Smith video, I spoke about Adam Azim on there. This is the thing with the BBC deal, because I feel that a Subriel Martinez and maybe even a Sandor Martin fight, probably not Martin, I think you can do that on the BBC, but the Matthias fight's probably a little bit too big for the BBC, but not quite at the level of a pay-per-view, because they've spoke about another round there, and it's got to be another round for Azim. They've spoke about the possibility of pay-per-view. Now, whether that's going to be done through the iPlayer or someone else, yeah, free 10-7s there for Adam Azim. So, they've spoke about doing pay-per-view. I watched a not Gerald Miller. I watched a Michael Hunter fight on pay-per-view the other day. It was on like Showbox or something, Play or something it was called. And maybe it's going to end up on some wacky broadcaster like that, I don't know. But, you know, I think Subriel Martinez, I don't think you can do that on pay-per-view unless you're loading up elsewhere, but I don't think they've currently got the guys to do that. So this is where it's their that step between British level and world level, but not world championship level. That's where boxers are really going to struggle to position their guys, you know. But this weekend, on the 31st, there's so many fights, so many good fights this weekend, and you can definitely catch some of them, because obviously there's going to be good shot at the end of the round. Lemos is just he's looking shook. Is he okay? He looks like he might be having a seizure there. That's another round for Azim. Lemos not putting much back. Another huge round for Azim there. But we obviously have this card, which I'll definitely be checking out. Real interesting. In fact, we've got Archie Sharp making his boxer debut on this card, which I think is a really good signing. He'll be able to get them couple of fights at the right level to build him back up to world titles. He's talking about world titles this year. I would personally slow up on that. Take this year to. He's got this fight. That's a run out. He's going to get the win in that. I don't think he would be shocked by that. And then I want to see him really step up, maybe pick up the British title along the way. That's a headliner right there. Archie Sharp going for the British the British Championship on BBC. That makes a lot of sense to me. And then he can make the move towards World Championship honours. We also have on that card Fran Hennessy, which I saw her debut at the Royal Albert Hall, and that was an interesting fight. Round done there, another round for Azim. Lemos really has to start stepping things up. We've also got a card over in Denmark with Skull against Bank, and Skull obviously went up against Canelo. Bank I'm not too familiar with, to be honest, but I know he has a real good record, 17-0, 24 years of age, so he's a real exciting prospect for that part of the world, the part of the world that give us Mikkel Kessler in the same weight class as well, so a lot of comparisons there, and that's one I'm definitely going to keep an eye on. I imagine the times will be similar to the Azim fight, so I'll probably have my eye on that. We also have an event where Zayas is on an event in Puerto Rico. Oh my god! Azim he was put down heavy there. Straight back to action. He needs to survive this round. Lemos could be turning this around. And that was shocking now. That really come from out of the blue. Hard to do the commentary and really keep an eye on the fight. Wow, you can do commentary, but I'm going over the other fights and stuff. But that... See, this will be interesting, because Azim was doing well up until that point. Let's see how the judges score this. See, they give it all to Azim, stronger than the first couple of rounds when they were giving 10-10s on the first judges scorecard. So the scoring is wild on this. But Lemos still way behind, but the damage is starting to be inflicted on Azim. And now you see him starting to push him back a little bit more. We also have Zalayev versus Josh Kelly. Oh, and Adam Azim's gone down again. I don't think he's got up. He's got up. There's a little while left. Can he survive this round? That would be shocking. But yeah, Kelly versus Zalayev. Josh Kelly finally getting a shot at the world title. He did step up before, didn't he, against David Avanesian, and he come up just short. He's a bit more seasoned now. He's got a bit more pepper in. And this is a really interesting fight. This is a real interesting fight. The Russian's never been beaten. He gets a lot of early stoppages as well. Hard hitter. It will be, oh my god, and Azim is down again. This fight has turned into a nightmare. It has been completely turned on its head. There is no way the judges can give that round to Adam Azim. There is no way. Oh my god, they're good. I don't know how that has happened. That's disgusting. That was a clear round for Le Mans there. Good shot by Azim there though. He does keep getting these good shots, but you can't get put down twice in a goddamn round. And the judges give it. I guess this is a realistic boxing simulator, and we've seen some terrible decisions in boxing in the past. Also on the Josh Kelly card, we also have Josh Padley out. He's taking on the Frenchman Belmardi. I really like Josh Padley. I like everything about him. He always brings the fight. He always steps up. His only loss has been to Shakur Stevens, and even in that, he showed heart. He didn't do much, but he showed a lot of heart, and I think he gained a lot of credit. He really stepped up, and I believe he was the last minute replacement. We also have probably the best women's fighter of the year last year, Turhan, on the card as well, looking to get the job done. And then it's the big one over in America, Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevens. And I think right there, that's another round for Lemos. I really do. On that card, we've also got Keyshawn Davis is on the card, the man who beat Lemos. Carlos Adames versus Amo Williams as well. Let's check that round. They've finally given a round to Lemos about goddamn time. And Bruce Covington also on that card. A fighter who is up and coming. Really want to watch. Oh my god, and he's put him down there. And I think that's it. Adam Azim pulled it from the back when the fight was going against him. It had turned, but Adam Azim getting the win. Fantastic win for Adam Azim. Guys, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. There's the scorecards. Adam Azim getting it done.